Welcome to Kidmissing. I am your host, Angelina Wilson, and I'm more than a little bit frustrated. You know, I had to make this video because why is it that let me preface this by saying I try to do cases of, African American, Hispanic, Native American people. Unfortunately, I get very frustrated attempting to do that because why is it that every time I click on a case of an African American, it says they disappeared from, I'll just make it up, the 200th block of 27th, their home on the 200th block of 77th Street in Chattanooga. And that's it. And there's nothing else. It's like they don't even try to get more information than that. It's frustrating to someone who wants to be inclusive of, regardless of gender, regardless of race, regardless of ethnic background. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is someone is missing, someone is unidentified, whatever the case may be. And really? That doesn't help. And I click, and that's all I get. We click on this little boy. Okay. You go down to circumstances. Last seen at his home on the date. He disappeared during the evening hours and was last seen by a man who was in the home. Suspect now deceased. Well, there was a little more information there. But usually if you click on an African American, oh, this one has information. I'm proving myself an idiot. And that one has information. Oh, good grief. A lot of times, though, and sometimes even white cases, why would you bother to put up, just that information? Is that all the police gave you? And if so, why? Because I'm talking about the Doe Network, and I love the Doe Network. The Charlie Project. All of them. That's all they know. If you dig a little more, you can find more information. Because I have done cases that literally only had that. Did some digging. Because there was just something scratching at me about it. And managed to find information. Like I said, I am in the middle of disturbing December. I have 5 cases so far. So, it's getting later in the evening, but oh, that's sad. Here we go. Tambora Brown was last seen walking around his neighborhood. That's all you've got? This other guy I think I am gonna do. Robert Archie. Last seen at his residence, went for a walk. How could he walk into Mexico from Alabama? Alabama doesn't border Mexico, folks. Alabama borders the Atlantic Ocean. Well, the bay. The Presidio Bay, which goes into the Atlantic Ocean. And Mobile Bay, and, the water. And on the other side, it borders Mississippi. On the opposite side, it borders Florida. And to the northeast, it borders a little bit of Georgia. And to the north, Tennessee, I believe. So yeah, there's no Mexico there. So not sure why they thought that. But since this man is schizophrenic, and who knows what kind of mental health help that an African American man would have been able to get. I think it's important. I also think it's important because I believe that, like I said, I believe in being inclusive. And I also believe not only being inclusive as far as race, creed, color, all that good stuff, but I also believe in being inclusive when it comes to mental illness. I've been very open on my other channel. I suffer from anxiety. I also suffer from PTSD, autism, which is not a mental illness, but cerebral palsy. So I have a lot going on in my damaged brain. And I never knew I had PTSD until I went through counseling and saw the write-up from my counselor saying I had PTSD. So, which makes sense. It made sense for a lot of things. But this poor man is schizophrenic. I have a very beloved uncle who had schizophrenia. I'm not sure if he's still alive, quite frankly. Last I knew, he was living in a home. Because not only was he severely mentally ill and becoming physically dangerous, especially being a large man, well over 6 foot. My grandfather was like 6.5 feet tall. So both of his boys very tall. And but unusually, he was severely mentally handicapped, delayed. And I say unusually because generally people with schizophrenia are uber intelligent. And that's believed to be part of the reason why their brain short circuits. Although they're learning about certain like bacteria and viruses that may contribute to it. That may contribute to injuring the brain's very careful chemical balance. The brain has a chemical balance. Think of, how do I do this? Excuse me, the scales of justice. You know those scales that have a plate on each end and that's like the scales of justice. Well, your brain, the chemicals in it are carefully balanced. And if those chemicals get out of balance, it can lead to depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, and all sorts of mood disorders and all sorts of problems. Because those chemicals need to be carefully balanced. Oh, anxiety. Which is why I take medication for anxiety, and I'm very honest about that. I don't care who knows. I'm not ashamed of it. I have no reason to be ashamed of it. I think we've gotten to a point now that doctors don't look at my anxiety and think that's why she feels this way, partly because they know how sick my body is. So they don't think about that. And my medication works pretty well. My PTSD is relatively mild, so is my autism. I have cerebral palsy, but for those of you who don't know, it just means that your brain was injured by a lack of oxygen to it. In my case, right after birth, which is usually when it happens. I had an APGAR score of 10. I was a perfect little baby. Then I stopped breathing. So, I take medicine for that too. It keeps my muscles from going. Because that's one of the problems with cerebral palsy is what the muscles do. That tightening. What do you call it? Spasming, which I have been having in my belly for the last 2 days. Well, the past 2 days. I absolutely hate spastic colon. And for some reason, your emotional state plays a role in your physical state, because your brain plays a role in everything. So if your brain is having an issue, like I've been dealing with a little bit of holiday blues, missing my parents, and it's been hard this year, and I'm sure that that's contributing to my spastic colon going crazy. But I wanted to talk to you mainly about those descriptions when I click on them, and inevitably they're usually African American cases that you see that in, but you will see that in other cases as well, where you click on it, and like I said, last seen at his or her home in the 200 block of 77th Street, Chattanooga, and it's like, okay, that helps. Occasionally I can look up the name and get more information, but not always. And I've done, like I said, cases where I literally had that to go on and just did some Googling and found information. Thank God for Reddit. Excuse me. Well, while I'm coughing my head off here, I'm going to go get a cough drop. And I'm going to start editing because I don't think my package is going to show up for the other channel. So, and I'd like to get this stuff edited. So there will be 2 videos today, the regular video and this video, which I'm going to label my frustration. But like I said, I believe that any person, regardless, again, race, creed, color, disability, illness, mental illness, physical illness, mental illness, whatever it is, deserves to be covered. And I've got some doozies for next month already, and I've only got 5 out of the 9 that I need, plus I need 4 Dough Fridays. So, actually, I think I have 6, because I'm going to do Robert Archie as well. I think that he is probably homeless and clueless, unfortunately, or deceased. And when I say clueless, I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that he doesn't have his medication, and that type of mental illness can fog the brain, and you don't know who the heck you are. So, like I said, he's in danger because of his brain's imbalance. Scales, So I want to do that case because I feel he's endangered. And that's another thing I try to do. I'm sorry, I need to take a cough drop. Is do cases of people who I feel are endangered. So watch out for that case next month. It'll be in the middle of the month anyway. Well, let's see, what have I got written? It'll be, I believe, the 16th. I'm still writing on the calendar because what I try to do is a male and a female. Like if I do, this month I'm doing males on Mondays and females on Wednesdays. Usually I do females on Mondays and males on Wednesdays. Then I do Dough Fridays, female, male, female, male. Or in this case, I think I'll do male, female, male, female, because I'm doing females on Wednesdays. I just try to divide it up the best I can between the genders. And that's another thing. Male children do not get the same attention for the most part. And I also have to do my physical therapy, even though my knee is killing me. So, thank goodness that I have that ability. So, and I'm grateful for this platform, YouTube, to be able to do this, even if you have to dance around their newer rules about saying certain things. You know, I mean, hello, we're true crime YouTubers. We deal with personal assault. We deal with people ending other people's lives. We deal with people turning other people into jigsaw puzzles. And I'm trying to, again, dance around YouTube. And that's, how do you do that dance? You know, it's frustrating, along with, like I said, the lack of information in a lot of African American cases in particular. So, I will see you on maybe Sunday? Today's Friday? Maybe, yeah, if I can get it done, I will see you, yeah, Sunday's the 1st. I'll see you Sunday for the preview, and I will see you tomorrow for the updates. I gotta pull together some updates. So, I don't have any solves this month, I don't think. But I'll try to pull something together. Thank you so much for listening to me rattle on for 16 minutes. Bye, guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday. Bye, guys.